I'm Brian Cook, and this is Kendra Cox with DiscoverWoodward.com and Keller Williams Realty Elite. And we're here today at the Woodward Citizen Center.
I feel like I've worked for you long enough. You should know I'm Kendra Cox.
I do, but hey.
All right, we're really excited. We have Catherine Fanning, and I'm thrilled to be here. Like, I've been so excited about this one. When I saw that this was on the list, I was like, yes, we get to go hang out at the senior center, and it might be that I fit here. I mean, really and truly, yes, something for sure. I mean, I've got the earliest bedtime of anybody I know, so absolutely. But I'm so excited because you had spoken to our realtor group some years ago, and you're looking at me like, what?
I think
it has been some years ago. But I remember listening to you, and I just got more and more excited. So we talked a minute ago that everyone has a story. So I'm going to real quick share my story, and then we're going to talk about what you offer. So I love the senior center because I saw the way that it impacted both of my grandparents. So my grandpa, when we moved him to Woodward, my grandmother passed away very shortly after, and he was alone. And I don't know that my grandpa had ever been alone. And so this darling 80, 85-year-old man didn't know what to do with himself, and I was a senior in high school, and I was going home to him after school, and I was making him dinner, and I remember him being so lonely until my mom finally convinced him that this was where he needed to be. And all of a sudden, and he would say, I can't go down there with those old people. And I remember thinking that was so darn cute, because I mean, he really was 80, 85 years old. Yeah. He was up there. And so darn cute. And we finally got him plugged in, and the way that changed for him was so amazing. He had these friends, and he could go and play cards, and he was kind of cantankerous. But evidently, the people here were able to appreciate his personality quirks, just like we did. And I saw him be happy. Yes. And the same with my other grandparents, and they're in a different community, but their senior center was vital to them in their retirement years. And I love to see the way that my grandmother was a very smart woman, and very successful businesswoman, which was unusual for her time, for her age. And I remember seeing her when she retired, and I thought, oh no, something's not quite right. And then to plug into the senior center, and wow, what a difference it made for her. And I love it. So that's my story. I love it. That's why I'm excited that we're here. And I want to play dominoes.
Okay. Well, we have our domino tables out of commission right now. But and that's a very common story. I don't know, we always are changing and evolving. I have a network of directors from other towns that we are talking about, what have you done? I'm doing this, and then we get ideas. Because they, each generation has different needs and likes and dislikes, and so we're always trying to come up with ideas to keep people engaged.
I love that.
And that's a big part of the senior center is engaging them, because we know if they are mentally, emotionally, and socially healthy, they're going to age a lot better.
Yes.
And live a lot longer.
Yes.
So the other thing I talked earlier, we have a bus that will go around and pick people up. And usually it's around the lunch hour, so they can come and eat. Eating with other people
is so important.
So important. If I can only imagine if I am sitting, I really don't eat if I don't have somebody with me. I will snack, and not be conscious of whatever I'm eating. So that nutrition is important. So and companionship.
It is. So there's the social nature, which absolutely is so vital to, as you said, growing old and growing older. I don't know the term that you use, but really it's a graceful aging, and it's a healthier aging. But the nutrition program is one of the things that is so important about the service that you provide. So tell us about your nutrition program.
And it is what has anchored us. And I don't know that we would have survived as a center if we didn't have our program. And about 3 years ago, we began to see there needed to be a change in how we were providing meals. We were using a government grant program that always seemed to have challenges. And we began to note those, and the city manager and I would grumble and finally started working towards the idea that we would have our own nutrition program. Now, the city manager wasn't excited about having a food service program on his plate as a city
Sure.
manager. So we worked from the end that it'd be a 501c3. It had nothing to do with the city. The city, there's no money from the city. They did help us with groceries the first couple months.
Sure.
But that was in the budget anyway because the other government grant programs,
Right.
they weren't feeding on Fridays. There was so many challenges with them. So in order to be a 501c3, it takes a lot of paperwork. The city attorney did help us with that. And so we got that all official, and then we broke up. And in breaking up, we lost all the equipment that was in the kitchen. But the senior center itself had money and funds that we were able to use that to equip the kitchen, which is the senior center's a kitchen. So it all worked out. And so we've been going for a year. We started the nutrition program. And the government grant program was only reaching out and serving about 30 on their homebound meals. And we knew that wasn't the need out there.
Right.
So all we did was start getting the word out that we can do home delivery meals. It's a hot meal, $4, delivered every day, Monday through Friday. Government grant program was only doing it Monday through Thursday. And so Monday through Friday, and even at Christmas and Thanksgiving, we send home extra meals. If the weather's bad, we send home extra meals so my drivers don't have to get out in the weather. We did that last week. So we use all our leftovers to create those extra meals, so there's no waste. So with $4, $2 goes to our kitchen staff, and then $2 for food costs. And so that's a pretty tight. We would really, we've talked about going up to $5, but seniors just are really pretty conscious of
yes,
their.
we've got to be very conscious of our budgets.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, so now I have 80 on our home deliveries.
I just think that's fantastic.
And it's growing. We can add another route if we need. I really feel like we are meeting the needs of the community. Even better, my daughter lives in Stillwater, and I talked to their Meals on Wheels program over there, and their food comes out of the hospital. And some of ours did at first, which is great because they serve, 300 and some days a year.
Sure.
But it's also hospital food, so it's not always
Exactly.
that great.
Exactly.
And our hospital went through changes in their the way they did things. Now their kitchen is outsourced.
Yes.
And so we don't. That's not an option for us. But they over at Stillwater, I think they only do like 60 home delivery meals.
Wow.
Like on 8 routes. And a lot of college students deliver, and there she was worried about who's going to deliver meals because the college students all left after Thanksgiving.
Right.
But anyway, I feel like we're in a good place.
Absolutely.
And I do. So that means I have 25 volunteers a week that come in and deliver those meals. So the seniors who aren't ready to start, playing dominoes or cards, they can still be put to use as drivers. Actually, 2 of my drivers are in their 80s.
Really?
I don't know if you know Gordon Beckett. Oh, well, he hides his age real well. But, him and his wife every week show up and deliver meals for me. Pat and Woody Hammond, they're in their 80s, and they come every week and, deliver meals. So everybody's different as to what their abilities and interests
Absolutely.
are. So,
Absolutely.
in the so the nutrition program has hung in there, and maybe the whole COVID thing helped get the numbers up because people aren't wanting to get out.
Sure.
And aren't wanting to, and some of them don't cook. And so anyway, we're meeting those needs. All during the shut-in, we were delivering meals. We did kind of shift. They put ice chests out on the porch, and we put the meal in the ice chest and stand back or knock and holler, say, hey, there's your meal, or we'll call them, hey, your meal's here. That's the other big part of that program is that contact. My
Yes.
drivers. So when
Yes.
people are calling and from my parents, they don't cook anymore, they don't get out, and we live in Chicago.
Right.
Okay, well, just about a third of the program is the nutrition and the meal. The other 2/3 is an extra set of eyes every
Yes.
day, checking on it, and my drivers become friends with them, and I have one driver that fixes stuff for him. Hey, can you fix this? Hey, can you do this? And a lot of them, well, the other thing is, besides those extra set of eyes, my driver on Tuesday, the lady had fallen. And so she stayed with them, she called me, I called the granddaughter, I said, do you want us to call 911 or do you want to, can you go see it? She goes, I'm on my way. So she was headed across town, and actually when she got there, they did call 911, and so, that's the other 2/3 of the program is that senior people. And just like your grandpa, at least in the middle of the day, somebody's there to say, hi, how you doing?
Yes.
Can we, do anything for you? And then the whole COVID thing kind of put the ice chest. Oh, actually, I had a driver yesterday. I have COVID. I said, okay, well, just make sure your ice chest is there and your meals will keep coming.
That's wonderful. And I think that's part of the thing that I think that as we've talked today, you've done very well is to roll with the punches with COVID.
Well,
and we're learning every day something new about this pandemic, and we're hopeful that things will change and can go back to somewhat normal.
Right.
So around this room that we're in, you've got a fantastic dining area, and you're spaced out beautifully right now. I'm sure this was a lot more packed before.
Yes.
And then behind us, I was excited about, I know everyone always is like, why are you excited about that? But I was super excited. You've got treadmills and the bikes and all these different activity things. And these are still able to be used because we have learned with COVID. And you mentioned earlier, now at first we thought, oh no, it stays on everything, don't touch anything. And now we know that that's not the case.
Right.
So these can still be used. And again, that physical activity is good for all of us. We don't want to stop that.
Right.
Just when we hit a certain age. But activities, used to, I hate to say used to, because I really believe it's getting back. It might just be my Polly in the sunshine phase, but I really believe that it'll come back. So we had monthly birthday dinners.
Right. The other thing about COVID is we learn how to do things different.
Yeah.
And actually, we kind of like new different. For Veterans Day, we always have a big Veterans appreciation lunch.
Yes.
Where them and the veteran and a guest can come and have a free meal, have a little short program. They love it because they get to socialize with other veterans, and that brotherhood is so
Absolutely.
important. Well, so we were just crushed because we can't bring in that many people in the space. So we did a drive-through, and we got the Christian school to come over and made it a parade. And as the veterans drove through, the kids were all waving their flags and cheering them on. And one guy texted later and said it almost made me cry because not every veteran had got a parade when they came home.
Exactly what I was just thinking. How cool is that?
And my granddaughter does a little thing for Girl Scout cookies, so they all got Girl Scout cookies and some goodies and a sack and information about the senior center. Always got to take an opportunity to promote us. And so we served 200 meals out the door.
Wow.
So and that's one of our favorite things to do. So, but I don't know. Maybe that's we did have a couple of volunteers that helped with the parking because that many cars coming through. And 11 o'clock is a big deal. November 11th at 11 o'clock is when it was. Papers were all signed for the board to be over, and they so at 11 o'clock they all honked. And so that was pretty cool. We did, and then we are a United Fund agency. And so we always do a baked potato dinner. Again, can't do that. So we had a drive-through, and we made 350 beer rocks, and that was the fundraiser for. They were $5 a piece. And so that all that money went to United Fund. But again, we had more people doing that drive-through than we've ever had to come in.
Neat.
So, I don't know what that's about. Maybe people, the whole drive-in thing, maybe it's not that bad a deal.
Maybe not.
But, so anyway, those are two things that we really kind of figured out we were successful. It's kind of like, you're not going to hold us back. We're going to keep trying. But yeah, and we were starting to amp back up, and then our little town got on fire.
Yes.
The COVID numbers have been crazy lately, and so now we're kind of back down a little bit. But, and I have somebody, they keep asking me about the birthday dinner. That's one of their favorite things to do. And so we usually...
Me too.
Yes, once a month we'd have birthday dinner and celebrate everybody that had a birthday, and we would have entertainment, and they'd get a good meal, and over 100 people would come from Sharon Mutual, Fargo, New Orleans, all over. They'd come, and they get to see their friends, and so they keep asking me, when do you think we're going to have birthday dinner? When? Well, first I was after the first of the year. Now I'm thinking, maybe May, I don't know. But they love to play bridge and cards, and of course we have the pool room. They keep playing pool.
Absolutely.
They keep those Cupid.
It's fine.
Whatever their stick keeps them apart. But back in the day we had quilters, we had a choir. We are doing Tai Chi. We have played bingo. We were ready to start playing bingo once a month in the evening because we figured out how. If you can have a cash prize as long as it's not more than $250. So we were all geared up. I learned that from another center, and then it's like, not yet. So anyway, we do I have a few contract labor helpers, and one of them does the flowers for us, and that's her passion. That she does flower arrangements using flowers that we recycle. So, but yeah, we've had socials usually in the summer, watermelon ice cream, hamburger. We've had music jam sessions where guys will come in and play. So, I don't know what it's going to look like when we do open back up, but I hope that it'll go forward and be successful like it has in the past.
All right, so real quick before we let you get back to work, because I know you've got a million things to do, but ways that we can help: donations financially and volunteer time.
Right. We since the nutrition program is 501c3, it's all nonprofit, so we're not supposed to make a profit, but I got to pay bills.
Absolutely.
And then the volunteers. Today I had 2 subs because sometimes those 80-year-old drivers have doctor's appointments. So I tell them, I got a list of subs that I can use to deliver meals. They are vetted. I'm not going to send anybody out that I'm not comfortable coming into my home.
Yes.
So that so I do need volunteers, and more so volunteers whenever we're up and running.
Absolutely. We appreciate you so much. We just think this is a fantastic. This is all fantastic. I love it. The location, 13th in Oklahoma.
Yes, and I will.
Sorry,
Downs.
13 in Downs, not 13 in Oklahoma.
1420 Downs. 1420 Downs.
1420
right
Downs.
across from the high school.
Yes.
And the building and my salary is paid by the city. So, but everything else is, I'm just the manager director, and so all the rest of it is, like I said, the nutrition program or through the donations to the senior center.
Fantastic. Well, we very much appreciate you. So thank you so much for your time.